Live here at the scene of Brian Laundrie's home in Northport, Florida. As you can see here, crime scene tape is up around the Laundrie household. Details still coming in here at this hour, folks. Updates as they become available, plus the very latest from our team here at WFLA News Channel 8. Starts now on WFLA Now. Hey there, everybody. Gabby Petito here with you live once again. Great to have 8 on your side. Senior investigator Walt Petito joining us there on the right side of your screen. Walt, let's start with you. What do we know here? This is now less than 24 hours after the tragic news came out of Northwest Wyoming that a body matching the description of Gabby Petito was found by search crews there in Northwest Wyoming, near in the area of Grand Teton National Park. Here we are now, the very next day. There was no active search in Myakkahatchee. That was not in the plans, not in the cards for this morning. And now we have crime scene tape up here around the Laundrie household. What are we being told here at this hour?
We know exactly what you said, that, the search is on for Brian Laundrie. We're waiting actually on the forensic results from Wyoming about the body that was found. But everybody seems to think at this point it is indeed Gabby. We do not have any idea at this point because it's so early on the cause of death regarding that body. And as far as Brian Laundrie, they searched all weekend in a 25,000-acre reserve, Carlton Reserve. I think there's 80 miles of trails. And the police department, FBI searched there. We also know now that we're told that the FBI is at that scene that you see on the video right there. The FBI is at Brian Laundrie's house. What are they looking for? That's unknown. But it is interesting. It happened this morning, and it happened within a day of the body being found. So you kind of could at least wonder if what was found in Wyoming somehow led them here, or maybe what was found on electronic devices somehow led them here to look for something connected to this. What is still a missing person case. I don't think anybody's called it a crime yet, right?
No, it's still a missing persons case. Let's read the latest on what we have here regarding the search warrant. I have this here. The FBI executing a court-authorized search warrant today at the Laundrie residence in Northport, Florida, relevant to the Gabby Petito investigation. No further details can be provided since this is an active and ongoing investigation. This coming from FBI Tampa, tagged FBI Denver. So what's going on? This is live here, folks, in the center of your screen. Walt Petito, JB Buno here with you. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here with you live. We do expect there to be some updates here in the hours ahead as we learn more here. All the immense pressure, of course, on law enforcement from just the public and the weight of all of the public pressure coming down here on wanting there to be results, especially after the news that we heard yesterday, Walt, as far as Gabby Petito and what's believed to be her remains found there in Northwest Wyoming. So here we are here, a court-authorized search warrant here, and let's make this clear here as well. Because a lot of folks still are wrapping their brains around this. We don't know where Brian is. Brian is still a missing person. And so while they might have something maybe, and Walt brings up a good point here, might be electronically here that leads them to now finally have a court-authorized search warrant today, Brian himself is still missing. And it's going to be very curious to see when we find out what the details of this warrant are, if we are going to find out details of exactly what the warrant is, because warrants can range. They can, of course, they come there's a variety of different types of search warrants out there. In that, are they going into the house to retrieve one particular item, Walt, or are they going in, or are they able to take anything that they find necessary to assist them in trying to find justice for Gabby?
And the story will be in the affidavit once we get that. We should be able to get that hopefully today. The affidavit, obviously, you go, in a case of a warrant, when you get a warrant, you go to a judge, you say, Judge, generally you have to be pretty specific, and those specifics sometimes, oftentimes will tell us what police are looking for, and they'll also give us some detail about what they're looking for. So for all we know, they obviously know more than they're telling us at this point. That we did a video earlier, I think about 14 minutes ago, of apparently Mrs. Laundrie being taken into a van, an FBI van.
I'm going to see if I can bring that up here and see if we have that here available to us. I'll pass along a note here to our team if we can get that video turned around here. But that was how long ago would you say, Walt?
13 minutes ago, I'm seeing it on Twitter. So I'm not sure if we have it in or not, but we do know, again, FBI is there, and if they're there, you brought up a really good point. If they're there, they're looking for something that is in that warrant affidavit, and we're going to have to wait to see what happened. Again, though, to recap, the body was found over the weekend, waiting on the final results of that. But even as the FBI said that, they also offered condolences to the family of Gabby Petito. So it makes you think there's something identifiable on that body. They're pretty sure it is, but obviously dotting their I's and crossing their T's, they're not willing to say it's her. And they also did not offer us any indication on the cause of death. And so at this point, we don't know the cause of death. And we also, again, interestingly enough, while there is crime scene tape around that house and the FBI is there and the FBI was seen taking Brian's mom away, possibly just to get her out of the way, not necessarily because she has anything to do with this, but they're searching the house. They probably want to be alone in that house as they search for it, search the house. So even with that, Brian Laundrie is, at least from what we can tell, a person of interest, and it would be a pretty safe bet, it seems, to think that could change today, that it will be more than that.
And there are a lot of commenters here. For all of our commenters here joining us here on WFLA Now, great to have you with us here, and always wish that the circumstances were better, especially this week here with the subject matter that we're talking about here, continuing to talk about Gabby Petito, and now, of course, the focus really shifting to Brian Laundrie. And we were live last night with you on WFLA Now for that heartbreaking press conference. And I remember we preached to people to allow there to be a moment for Gabby last night after we had, of course, that press conference. And you saw the FBI spokesperson there who, Walt, was visibly upset, shaken by the news that he had to deliver and by what they had discovered there in Northwest Wyoming. And I remember that we were on stream last night and we had preached that there be a moment here just to honor Gabby. We took you live to Northport, Florida, where a memorial was set up outside of City Hall. But now this morning, waking up, checking Twitter, checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking my email and everything else, all the people that have been messaging me, and people now say, okay, we want justice for Gabby. We want there to be justice in this case. And if you think that I'm hearing it, imagine what the FBI is hearing, imagine what Northport Police is hearing, and imagine what they have been hearing over the last several days here. The calls, Walt, for justice here in this case are unbelievably loud here and emphatic and emotional, and people here want there to be resolution sooner rather than later. People, I took messages from people. They don't want this to be one of those cases that lingers on for days and then weeks and then months, and then before you know it, the year is 2025 and we still don't know what happened to Brian Laundrie. People want there to be justice as soon as possible and to track down Brian now. And the year is 2021, Walt. We talked earlier this week. You would think we have technological means here more than ever before to find somebody that is out there, somebody who has vanished, and of course he is a missing persons here. So you would hope that where we are technologically, we can get results faster now than we would in perhaps the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
But think about it though. A couple points there. First of all, the outpouring of sorrow for this girl. I think part of that is, again, it's 2021, and she had opened up her life as on social media about what she was doing. They both had been this couple that had thousands of followers, and then of course now they have thousands more. And I think people maybe in some way they'd been minor celebrities on social media, and then of course it blew up into a infamy as opposed to fame. But still, that I think draws us toward Gabby and even Brian to some degree. But then back to the modern technology. As much technology as we have, Brian, if he doesn't have his phone, he chose a place that his parents said he knows very well, the Carlton Reserve, 25,000 acres, 80 miles of trails. This is a guy that has some experience, I must think, at camping and living outside. I know they had a van, but they were camping in very isolated areas. So he probably has some skills to hide pretty well. And that particular area, we know from our reporters who have been out there, the electronics don't work that well out there. I think it's still possible to hide if you're in the wilderness. It's just a matter of once you come out of the wilderness, I think your point is well made. Once you come out of the wilderness, his face is everywhere. We had a report that somebody spotted someone who looked like him in Jacksonville. One of our reporters had heard that. I think Allison Henning had heard that because she used to work in Jacksonville. So yeah, once you're out of the wilderness, it's going to be tough to stay private, especially with the focus and the visuals that we have of this case. Think about it. We've had these missing persons cases before that turn into much worse, but have we had video, so much video of the person of interest? Think about it. We've seen Petito stand. We know how tall he is. We know how he looks. We know what he sounds like. We know his gestures. We know him probably better than any suspect we've had in quite a while, I think.
We're queuing up, and I'm all over the place here, folks, because we have a lot of feeds here now. In fact, we almost have, I believe that Eagle 8 HD, our chopper, is going to be at the scene here momentarily. Again, we don't know exactly what's going to unfold here today. So it's all hands on deck, and we're going to be here with you live on WFLA Now to bring you the very latest and to talk to you. I know we have a lot of hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments here. Across social media, Facebook Live, Twitter in the comment section, YouTube in the comment section. Just bear with us here. We're just getting a lot of information here, and then we're gonna start to take your questions. And again, our commenters, our viewers here have been very much part of this story over the last week or so. So we want to feature you because so many times there has been an excellent point, an excellent observation, or an excellent question that comes out of our hashtag AJB or hashtag HeyWalt comment section. So we'll get to those comments here. We'll animate them on screen if you use the hashtag
social
here
media
momentarily.
has played. I mean, this is such a what you do here. Obviously, I've said this to you off camera before, is very unique. I'm not sure anybody else is doing that. So that's a unique point, that what you're doing, obviously, and then you add to it the unique nature of this particular case with a woman offering pictures and snippets of her life for weeks, and then of course everything being caught on the end on the police body cameras, which again are relatively new. It is such a modern case, and I think that's why you're getting those tips out there, because there's always internet sleuths over the past decade, but there's much more of an opportunity to do that, and a lot of people are doing that with this case.
So okay, I have the video queued up here. And to all the commenters who have been commenting at me and saying to drink hot tea, thank you. I did get the hot tea eventually. It just took a little bit longer. Again, my voice not sick, just a long week of streaming here, folks, on this story. So let's get to some of that video here. Okay, so I want to make this perfectly clear. We are looking here in the center of your screen right now at live video, but there was video earlier.
Of the mom.
Yes,
and
we're gonna
a van.
Now, what I have now is the raw recording in our system here at WFLA. So we'll kind of scrub through it, and scrubbing through it, like jumping from point to point here as you would in any video online. What we'll try to do is we'll try to find those points here. So I'm going to bring up this video. We're going now from live to non-live, from live to moments ago, and let's see what we have here. Here's some of the clips. Okay, so this is the scene here, Walt, earlier. And it looks like this is
an FBI agent there in the foreground appears,
and
right?
What might be a reporter there taking video. Okay, this was right when this scene was starting to unfold here, folks. You're looking here at raw video.
There, yeah.
Let's see here now. Scrubbing ahead here. Okay, somebody.
That looks like an onlooker.
Speaks volumes to how the public is really gravitating towards this story. I don't know if that person was allowed to be there or not. More FBI personnel here in gear here at the home. All right, scrubbing forward. More photographers.
Northport police officer, more than likely. That seems to be the same FBI agent. It seems like we've spotted at least two there.
I'm looking for the video of the mother.
Another FBI agent.
And we'll see if we can scroll ahead here. Scrolling ahead. Okay, here. So what do we have here? FBI.
So there's perimeter FBI agents, and this guy perhaps is developing the crime scene inside the Laundrie's house.
And I want to just preface as we wait for this video here to go through all the highlights of the video of this morning, and I was rushing in here to get here live with our audience here. We're scrubbing through this, and I'm seeing this for the first time.
Me too.
Walt is seeing this for the first time. Welcome to 2021 as far as the way that we present news to you. So this is raw video from moments ago here outside of the Laundrie household. What you're seeing is what we're seeing here for the first time. So looking here again at that same FBI agent, continuing to scrub through here. Okay, back here now outside of the house. What appears to be a law enforcement vehicle here, right up on the front lawn of the house.
Now the video
you have to wonder, I want to pause this here for a second, Walt. You have to wonder here, did they come in blazing? Because they're parked right on the front lawn where we were on Friday night, and that's right outside the front door there.
You know what? When you're preserving a scene, and we're not going to call it a crime scene at this point, but when you're preserving a scene, you do not come in. You come in unannounced, and I think in a case where where you have parents of a 22-year-old who is missing, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. And keep in mind, this is the family criticized heavily over the last week or so for not coming forward and sharing anything they knew about where Gabby was last seen. So the FBI probably has some of the same frustrations that the general public has, but of course they're trying to gather evidence, so they want to come in as a surprise, no doubt about that.
Let's also remind, okay, so what do we have here? Some agents.
I think you're going to see the video I saw was the mom going into that vehicle that is parked on the lawn. So if we have that's
reminder, I have to remind folks, this is not live. Okay, I'm monitoring the live feed here on a separate screen, and we can go to the live video. If anything happens, tap at the touch screen here and we're live. But this is from, again, a short time ago. So live content will be coming back here as soon as we have something to show you. But right now it's just the same scene.
To the point we were making earlier about the social media connection of both the people who never met Gabby, the people who know Gabby, and then of course just the followers of this story. I mean, one of the key tips came from another blogger, again a relatively modern job, Shannon Baker out of Spring Hill, saying that she on a trip, she's a travel blogger, and on a trip she remembers recognizing the 2012 white Ford van that we've seen that is now in Northport police custody, and she shared that video with both the parents of Gabby Petito and said actually in one of our stories that she had a tearful talk with Miss Petito's mom about what it meant and how she wished that that Gabby could come home alive. But she also, that video from the Spring Hill woman played a role in, we believe, helping investigators go to the exact location of the Grand Teton National Park. And we talk about the vast nature of the reserve in Venice, Florida, but 25,000 acres, Carlton Reserve. But think about the Grand Teton National Park. If the woman from Spring Hill doesn't have that video, which had the van in a particular location, we haven't found that. I don't think they've found that body yet.
And I was talking about, we have a hashtag HJB comment coming up here. We see a lot of them. Hashtag HWalt, hashtag HJB. But let me make this clear. We were talking about this on stream last night. While there's a lot of misinformation, landmines of falsified information out there as far as the rabbit hole that is places like TikTok and Reddit, there are some really good people out there trying to do good by this story, and I want to commend those people because there are good people out there that are helping carry this story forward. And in a day and age where there's countless, I remember talking about how the people were going through Yellowstone webcam video trying to find evidence, like people at home tapping the space bar on their computer, going frame by frame, looking for the van. I mean, people that are really helping as far as now the FBI and I think law enforcement would say we appreciate the tips, but they get so much misinformation on their call line that it can be sometimes a distraction for them. But I just want to commend for a moment the people that are trying to do some good out there, and people that, like you've been talking about, Walt, people that have been doing good with the van video, of course, that came out in the last 36 hours.
And I think we get a lot of tips here that we have to go through, and some of them end up as stories. But I can tell you, you have to look at all of them. I'm sure law enforcement is the same way, and and they know that all they need is that one tip that will get them the information they need. And I think we're back live here. I think that in this case, obviously, now, as you brought up, will somebody be able to spot Mr. Laundrie so that we can, so that police can talk to him and ask him what happened, or will the forensic analysis of the body tell us something before they're able to speak to Laundrie? That's what we need to find out next.
New developments here, folks. I believe that we have Eagle 8 HD at the scene here momentarily. I want to address one question that is coming through a lot in our comment section, and I promise, folks, we just have a lot going on right now as far as the developments here in this story and what we're trying to catch up on as far as what has transpired since what we believe to be an unannounced visit here, as Walt was talking about. Again, showing up here at the Laundrie household this morning, the tape put up here. But let's talk about the tape here, because Kristen Russell here, #HeyJB, #HeyWalt. If the house is called a crime scene, doesn't that mean there is a crime? This is a great question, and it's so obvious, but
it's funny. I was going to say something about that. That's not, we call it crime scene tape, but it
could be do not cross.
It probably says warning tape.
Or do not cross.
The tape goes up. Yeah, they just want to preserve as much as they can so nobody walks on it. That's more than likely why they took the mom away. You want no interference. If you're gonna analyze that house the way they probably will, you want no interference whatsoever, and you don't want anybody stepping on that lawn. You don't want anybody walking near the lawn. You don't want anyone walking near the house. So great question, but we do not know this is a crime yet. We still don't know the cause of death, and the cause of death will tell us a lot, obviously. That's probably the next most important piece of this puzzle that we'll hear. And do we hear that? Do we hear that from Brian? Or do we hear that from the forensic analysis out of Wyoming or Denver, probably at this point?
Yeah, and this might, for our commenters here, I've had enough comments like this one asking about the crime scene tape. I'm just going to ask our crews out there, we're waiting for something to happen here. So I'm asking our crews here with a quick note, just to let us know what does what does the tape say? And it's
ridiculous because the tape doesn't change. It's not like they have a warning. If
they don't have the right tape, it's just yellow tape. I know that that's silly, but
you're preserving an area, and you're preserving an area. We don't know why yet, but if the FBI is there, the FBI is part of the crew that found the body. The FBI is communicating with their agents are communicating. It would seem to me the logic is that the FBI out of Denver that's working the Wyoming part of this communicated with the FBI out of Tampa, and more than likely that is how you got your search warrant, and that's why they're there, but they're not telling us yet, and the FBI generally won't tell us anything.
Yeah, and I know that the tape is a very small and probably meaningless thing, but considering the amount of comments that we've asked about whether or not this is officially a crime
bottom line
scene.
Is crime scene tape, where a warning tape goes up on things that are not crimes all the time.
All right, let's show you this. Eagle 8 HD live over the scene now, just arriving here in Sarasota County. So this is now a live picture here of Brian Laundrie's home here. You're going to see some intermittent signal breakups here because we're here in Tampa. Of course, this going out to Northport, Florida, a little bit a ways away here, but still part of the coverage area, so we'll still be able to maintain a very clear signal here. You'll just see, like right here, you'll be able to see some signal pauses and signal breakups there. So this is the backyard of the home here. They were just showing us the front of the house here, but there's just a shot of the entire property here. So there you see, when I said law enforcement vehicles pulled right up to the front door, I was wondering here maybe 5-10 minutes ago, did they come in blazing? Did they rush right into the scene?
There's no doubt.
And there's the silver Ford Mustang convertible.
They wanted to get in that house as quickly as possible.
And there's the silver Ford Mustang convertible that we've been talking about.
When you get a warrant, that means you're going in. You're not asking for permission to go in. You're going in. It makes complete sense for them to go in quickly, just in case something could be destroyed that they want to see.
All right, so we've got Eagle 8 HD
and there's
here.
the media on the other side of the street. You see I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 crews. Wow.
All right, I'm queuing up a side-by-side here, folks.
BMW parked in the model home.
Here, let's see if we can... Hold on, everybody. We're queuing up here some video here from earlier, some new video here. Again, I'm bringing in a raw camera video from right when this scene began to unfold here. So I'm going to try my very best here to bring you up here side by side.
Appreciate it.
And here we have it. And let's show you now a split screen. Queuing this all up here on the touch screen, folks. Okay, so
we do have this is a tweet from a individual and this was 4 minutes ago, who also said parents were escorted out of house moments ago.
All right, so now let's see. This is new camera feed video from earlier, and we'll see if we have any more interesting video from on the ground. So on the left side of your screen, everybody, is live from Eagle 8 HD. On the right side of your screen is video, a raw camera feed from earlier, right when we got there, right when we hit record, right when we started the feed. And we'll start to see if anything sticks out here to our audience here joining us on WFLA Now.
Well, there they are in the backyard. Is that an FBI agent? It's hard to tell.
With holding paper in their hand, it would appear to be. Okay, one more time. Left side of your screen is live. Right side of your screen is a
left
raw
side's
camera.
Live.
Yes, left live. Right side of your screen
so I'm
raw
not sure
from
who that
earlier.
woman is, but I can't see the. Let's see. Well, they appear to be looking behind the shed.
And they're photographing behind the shed here on the left side of your screen.
The person who's not in gear seems to be taking the pictures. And now they're coming to the front of the shed. So, and they have the warrant, and I'm guessing that's the warrant. Do they have a warrant for the shed?
And I wonder if they're, just kind of going over the paperwork here to see what they have access to, what they don't have access to. And again,
nice job, Eagle 8, by the way.
Yeah, Eagle 8 providing us here. And I believe, is it Paul Lamison? Paul Lamison?
Yeah, Paul Lamison's up there.
Let's kind of just show you everybody, Paul Lamison, if it is Paul. And there he is, our chief photographer here, WFLA News Channel 8, does an amazing job here for us. And again, follow him online, folks. He's a great follow as far as covering the Tampa Bay area from the sky. Let's show you here, everybody, again, the split screen from earlier. And let's kind of scrub forward here now and see if we can find that video that we're talking about of the Laundrie, of Brian Laundrie's mother. And I'm scrubbing on the right side of your screen, trying to find any highlights or anything new here that we haven't seen before. So showing some video towards the backyard. Here's some equipment being brought in. Probably this is equipment to retrieve evidence. As we see here, a lot of the vehicles, and it looks like just a lot of stuff going in and out of the house. Can we just kind of point that out here, Walt, for a second? That it looks like
Are they in the shed at this point?
I don't. Let's go full score. Let's go.
It looks like
not seeing too much here from the raw camera feed. So let's go.
Earlier, I will tell you, earlier in the video that Paul had, or the live video Paul had, the shed door was closed. Shed door is now open. So obviously, they have perhaps, from whatever they know, they've pinpointed something that involves that shed.
I'm going to see if we can bring in Paul on radio here and see if we can bring Paul Lamison in to provide us with what he's seeing here from the sky. And if we can bring him in here, we will. And let's see if we can communicate with Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison. Oh, we can't. We're coming up here, and I cannot because we're coming up here on the 11 a.m. newscast here on WFLA News Channel 8 that begins in 3 minutes. So Paul is standing by here for a live report. We might be able to listen in to Paul's live report here momentarily, but I cannot radio in to Paul when he's preparing for the newscast. So we'll have Paul here momentarily to tell us what he's seeing here from Eagle 8 HD. JB Buno, Walt Buteau, 8 on your side, senior investigator here with us live on WFLA Now, and we'll continue to take your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag Hey Walt comments here in the Facebook Live comment section. And you know what? Let's bring this one. You were just talking about this, Walt, and we'll bring this one in here from. And let me make this clear. I have to do this. I stop myself every time before I'm about to animate a comment on screen. How this works on WFLA Now is that you see the hashtags here on the left and right side of your screens, hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt. You see them on the yellow stripes there. You can use that hashtag, either of those two hashtags, to get our attention here, and then we can actually animate your comment on screen, animate like Wendy's comment here on screen, but it shows, of course, your name and your profile picture. If you don't want that information, if you don't want to be part of our live stream here, then just don't use the hashtags, and we'll let your comment idly scroll on by, and you can continue to comment back and forth with your commenters here.
You would not need a separate, generally you...
And let me just, for our audience that's just kind of listening here for a second, and there are people that listen in the car to us, so let me just read this. Wendy Giz, hashtag HJB, do they need a separate warrant for the shed?
No, but and I would assume if you're going to search the entire house, I haven't seen warrants that specifically ask for they ask for the entire residence. Do they have to ask for the shed? Would some constitutional lawyer tell you they should? I would say I doubt that. It also looks like they did not necessarily go in the shed. They seemed to photograph behind it, and the last video that Paul shot there, they went back into the house, the back of it in the lanai. But it does lead you to believe there are specifics in that warrant that they are looking for, and obviously that warrant. And I correct myself. It's a federal warrant. Getting a hold of that is not as easy as if it's a federal warrant. I'm assuming it is because the FBI announced they have the warrant. Getting a hold of that affidavit's going to be a lot more difficult and time consuming than if it had been signed by a state judge. So we'll see how that works. But that warrant will tell us a lot.
And let's see here. I want to bring up this comment. Hey, Wendy, thanks for your comment. We'll go to Shelby next. Hey, Shelby, hashtag HJB. So is it confirmed that the parents were removed? And so
it's confirmed by eyewitnesses. One reporter, at least one reporter saw the mom go, and then I have eyewitnesses who have contacted me that tell us the mom and dad were taken away. And by the way, that is standard operating procedure.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up here, as far as not interfering with the execution of the search warrant.
It's not like they're suspects or anything like that. It's not like they were getting in the way of the FBI, but you want the house clean. You don't want anybody else in there. You don't want anything disturbed. And so, yes, you take everybody out of the house except law enforcement, and even law enforcement will limit how many officers will go in there.
Let's listen. I think Paul is coming in on radio. Let's just listen in. Okay, no, he was about to deliver. I think he's getting ready for a live report on our newscast here. Also, let's go to Ms. Christine McLarty. Listen in to her.
The Petito case. Again, we have been here about the last hour that the FBI has been swarming this house along with Northport Police. There is also a helicopter overhead. We do believe that the Laundrie parents are inside the home. Before agents came here, the dad came out to his car and got a couple of documents, went back inside before FBI came and showed up. Now, this is following a weekend-long investigation, as the Laundrie parents said that they saw Brian's car at a nearby wildlife preserve, and there was a 2-day search from sunrise to sunset. The last 2 days, dozens of law enforcement agencies about 10 minutes away from this house searching for their son. And again, we're back here live where there's multiple FBI agents inside this home speaking with Brian's parents. Stay with 8 on their side for the latest. Reporting in Northport, Christine McLarty, back to you.
Hey everybody, JV Buno here with you live on WFLA Now, and we'll see if Christine is about to deliver additional remarks here. I think she is. Let's go back to Christine, back with your hashtag HJB, hashtag HWalt comments here momentarily. Nope, now we have Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison.
Vehicles in the front, and also right here in the center of your screen, that is the Mustang that's in question. The one that left the house, was at the reserve, and then was brought back by the parents. That has been out there since Wednesday. Now I'm going to move the camera and show you back here in the backyard, this shed. We just saw agents out there with the door open. They walked around the outside of the shed. They went inside. They seemed to take a lot of pictures. They did some stuff there. They since walked back into the home. So there's a wide shot of the house. You can see all the media gathered. This street is closed to traffic. So right now it's just a very big crime scene that takes up quite a bit of the neighborhood. But but again, the house is here. We'll be up above it and see if we can spot anything else. But again, the couple things I really want to show you are the Mustang that is out front, and there is one of the officers standing guard in front of the home. So Stacy, I will throw it back to you.
And that's Paul Lamison reporting for us on our 11 a.m. newscast. Team coverage, by the way, if you are here in the Tampa Bay area, turn on your televisions to your NBC station, WFLA 8 on your side. That's us. And you'll find us, our team coverage with 8 on your side's Christine McLarty. You'll also find Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison. And I was just passed along a note here. And again, this is welcome to reporting online in the year 2021. A big thank you to some of our commenters here for helping me monitor a lot that's going on out there. Stevie Webb, #HeyJB, Brian Enton said parents were taken back into the house. And so I want to give a shout out here to News Nation's Brian Enton. He reports for News Nation, of course, part of Next Star Nation here with us. He is based in Miami. He's our Florida correspondent here for News Nation. And he did just tweet out at the same second, I don't know, Stevie was really quick on it, pointing out here that parents are back in the house. So the 2 Laundrie parents back in the home at this time after again, what and I were just talking about as far as likely being removed from the equation here just temporarily as the search warrant was being executed so that it could be done unadulterated. So let's give a shout out to Brian Enton one more time. You can follow him online. He's one of the reporters. He's actually got a live feed up right now too that we're also monitoring here for developments. All right, we're live here in the center of your screen. Walt Petito, phone's ringing off the hook. Walt, if you need to take that, you need to take it.
Yeah, let me just.
All right, everybody back here with you live. Walt will come back here momentarily. Walt, your mic is muted if you need to take that. Some more #HeyJB comments that are coming in here, and let's get to Shelby Carollo again. It shows one more time. Shelby. So is it confirmed that the parents were removed? Yes, confirmed that the parents were removed, and then they were allowed to go back into the house here. So at this time, it's very possible here, and I think Walt, you're done with your phone call. Phone's ringing off the hooks here, folks. A lot of messages, tweets, DMs. It's just a lot going on here at this hour. And thanks for spending part of your Monday morning here with us as we look here at some of the media circus here. But the Laundrie parents are back in the home, which, Walt, would lead you to now wonder, of course, if logically the next step is, are they done now executing the search warrant?
They could be, or they could be. They could have cleared one area of the house, and perhaps they let them back in. I would have to say it's somewhat unusual, but perhaps they were, like we said, these warrants are written in a certain way where they're looking for. They don't always say exactly what police are looking for. So were they able to clear an area and allow the Laundries back in? That's very possible. Clear one room? We don't know. Are they after something specific? Did they bring the Laundries back in to ask some questions about what they're looking for? We know none of those answers yet.
Yeah, and I know that there's some videos out there, everybody, and again, we are working here to provide you here with the images that are the very latest, but I want to let you know here that this is live here in the center of your screen. 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Petito joining us here, everybody, on WFLA Now. I'm JB Buno. You can follow us, of course, online and on our various platforms. We're here live with you on WFLA Now as the FBI and police swarm Brian Laundrie's family's home here in Northport, Florida. Quite the scene here one day after Gabby Petito was a body matching Gabby Petito's description was found in Northwest Florida. I think now we do have, let's see if the radio is back online. Paul Lamison and Eagle 8 HD. Hey there, Paul, it's JB back with you on WFLA Now. Can you read me and do you hear me? And what do you see up there in Eagle?
Hey JB, I can hear you. Are you ready for me?
Yes, sir. You're live on WFLA Now. What do we got here from the sky?
Hey, JB, we're over the house right now, the one that was just swarmed by FBI and Northport Police. I'm going to show you a couple things as we continue to circle this home. And again, the road is shut down to traffic. Media is out on the side of the house. There's the media. Here is the home. Now, JB, I want to show you this as we come around. Remember the Mustang they talk so much about that Brian apparently took to the park and to go hiking, and then the parents returned it back to the driveway? There it is. That's the Mustang that's been back in this driveway since Wednesday of this week. And again, the parents didn't report him missing until late Friday evening. There's the Mustang still out in front. The red pickup truck is the father's pickup truck. We've seen that come and go with the father and mother several times. But again, the other ones are law enforcement vehicles. You see police outstanding guard in front of the home. Now, the other thing I want to show you as we make our way around the back of the home, this shed that's out in the backyard. We watched as the agents came out of the home and walked the perimeter of this shed, taking pictures, looking at it, taking some measurements. They then opened the door and went inside. We saw them take pictures inside as well. Again, we don't know what's going on in there, but we do know that's what they did. The agents then left the shed and went back through the screen porch into the home. We have seen no other activity coming and going from this home. Again, this is where Brian Laundrie was supposed to be staying until he vanished. His parents say he's missing. The Petito family says he's hiding. He's not missing. So that's what's going on now. Again, earlier today, the agents, Northport Police and federal agents, came to the house to serve a court-ordered search warrant. So that's what you're looking at now, JB. And again, here's a better shot of the Mustang. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to you. I have a live hit to do on WFLA TV. But again, JB, I'll be up here for a while, at least until we have to go refuel. And right now it's quiet. Everything going on inside the home, nothing outside of the home. But we'll have it covered if anything changes. I'll throw it back to you, JB.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Again, Paul Lamison, our chief photographer here at WFLA, and the voice of Eagle 8 HD. Back here with you live, everybody, on WFLA Now. A big thank you to Paul. He's going to be live in our 11 a.m. newscast. He is live in moments here in our 11 a.m. newscast. One more time, 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Petito joining us here, and Walt has a lot of work to do here, so I'm going to do my very best here to answer as many questions as possible. And Walt, you feel free to jump in here as needed, and so that way that we can continue to work on both our television and digital products here simultaneously. And I think we're going to try to have others as well join us and rotate our team of reporters here in and out. We're not going anywhere, folks, here on WFLA Now. We're going to stay here with you live and bring you the very latest here because we know how much this story means to you. Let's just kind of talk about that for 1 second. We know how much this story means to you. We know that there are so many folks that are heartbroken here and went to bed really down last night.
I think, and again, it's that social media impact that this was somebody who put their life out there, shared what they did with this person of interest. They were both out there. I think there's this somewhat of a mirage, I think, to a degree, that social media creates, where I think we know these folks more than we do, but we also see this telegenic woman and her boyfriend or fiance, and they're traveling the country and they're doing these pictures and showing us this life, and then even if you didn't follow it before, you followed it in retrospect after it devolved into what has happened, with one of them apparently no longer with us, the other one, as the family of Gabby Petito said, the other one hiding or the other one missing, depending on how you look at it. And now the FBI, and it's such a visual story, it's easy to be drawn into it. It's like we said, I think we said this on Friday, JB, it's a 2021 story. It has all those elements. Even we're just now really getting to a point where a small police department like Moab I don't know when they got their body cams, but I bet they haven't had them very long, because we have local departments that don't have body cams. And imagine this case and this investigation without the body cams from August 12th. Imagine where we would be. We would know so much less if those body cams weren't there. We were able to see them and hear them, and at their lowest point. And it it sort of gave us a view into what we thought could happen, the worst case scenario, and that's where we are right now.
Let's see if we can bring in 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty now. Team coverage here for you folks on WFLA Now. And Christine, if you can hear me, feel free to hop in front of the camera or come through here on the microphone. And you are there outside of the Laundrie household. You've been there for some time watching the scene unfold here. What can you tell us and what have you seen so far this morning?
Hey JB, can you hear me?
I can, Christine. Hope all is well there. I know you've been working extremely hard. What can you tell us as far as the scene that is unfolding here after the FBI and police swarmed Brian Laundrie's family's home this morning?
Yeah, absolutely, JB. So we're out here on scene. We are at the Laundrie house right now, and within the last hour or so, about 15 different police agents with the FBI and Northport Police, they came swarming this home. And now they're inside the home. So we saw them bring a lot of suitcases and a lot of documents inside this home. This situation went from 0 to 100 really quick. Now we've been out here since about 4 o'clock this morning, and all day there's been nothing going on here. But then about an hour ago, multiple cars came rushing down the street. They turned their lights on. The crime scene tape went up around the neighborhood. We saw the parents of Brian be escorted into the home here, and we are now waiting to learn more about what's going on. We did hear from the FBI that there is an active search warrant, so we have been asked to stay across the street, and we will keep bringing you the latest as we know more.
Christine, we've had a lot of questions come in pertaining to the parents of Brian Laundrie. What can you tell us about Brian Laundrie's parents as far as the search warrant being executed this morning? Any details you can provide will help our audience here.
The only details that I have as of now are that about 20 minutes before the cars came rushing in, Brian's dad came out to his car and grabbed some papers, grabbed some documents, and then about 20 minutes later is when the FBI showed up. We were told that they escorted him and his wife, the couple, into the van, and now that they have been escorted back into the home, we believe. Again, this is a fluid situation. We're trying to learn as much as we can as we're here. But their house is completely blocked off, along with the street is blocked off about, I'd say, 3 or 4 houses in each direction. We have the street blocked off here, so a lot of people wondering what's next.
Christine McLarty, 8 on your side, WFLA News Channel 8 here. Christine, we'll spend a few more minutes here just kind of speaking with you to gain your perspective here in the story and get the very latest here from you. Folks joining us here, we know that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of comments in the queue here as far as your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt comments that we are going to come to those questions and comments here. Again, just breaking down the very, very latest with 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty here. And Christine, can you just speak to the amount of attention the story has received over the last 24 hours, especially after the terrible news that we received in Northwest Wyoming last night?
Yeah, I mean, I think this has gained national attention around the world. I've had people tweeting at me and Facebooking about the reports that we're doing from Britain and overseas. I mean, everybody is just can't seem to look away from this case just because there are so many questions. And now that we're starting to get answers, I think this heightened sense of where is Brian has become much more apparent within the last 24 hours here since we heard the news at 6 p.m. last night about Gabby. And I mean, everybody, when we're in gas stations around the neighborhood here, you know, filling up and getting different things, we have people thanking us, saying thank you for continuing trying to find answers and staying on this story. You know, a lot of people just really want to know what is going on. And of course, I think as all your viewers and you can attest, I watched your incredibly emotional WFLA Now last night, and I mean, it's just touched all of our hearts in a way that Gabby will live forever in all our hearts, and we all just want answers about what's next.
8 on your sides, Christine McLarty. Thank you, Christine. We're looking here, everybody, at 2 live pictures. On the left side of your screen is from Eagle 8 HD over the Laundrie family home right now. On the right side of your screen is the shot being provided to us by the crew of 8 on your sides, Christine McLarty. Christine, this scene now, what's next here based on what we know at this time? It appears, of course, we've been reporting from News Nation Now's Brian Enton, and of course from WFLA, that the parents are back in the house right now. The parents there were, they had left or had been, of course, what's the word I'm looking for? Excuse me, escorted, thank you, from the scene here. And now the question is, what's next? Do we have any idea how long police are going to remain here on scene and what's going to unfold here in the hours ahead?
Yeah, that's a great question, JB. So as I said before, this is an active and fluid situation. So things have been changing minute to minute. About an hour ago, there was nobody here on scene. We've been here since 3 o'clock this morning, and this has been very quiet. And then we heard that the reserve, the wildlife reserve, just about 10 minutes away, that they would not be doing a search there. So many of us came back here, and we've just kind of been waiting here. And then about an hour ago is when 15 unmarked cars showed up. About a dozen FBI agents along with Northport police got out of their cars and they taped off this area. We really don't know what's next. We know that there is a warrant, that they are inside investigating, and we could be out here another 5 minutes, we could be out here another 5 hours or 5 days. We just don't know the answer to that question right now, but we will keep everybody updated as we learn that.
I want to, one more time here for everybody joining us here on WFLA Now, let you know that more your #HeyJB, #HeyWalt comments are coming up here. But Christine, before we let you go, I just want to bring up that one observation that you made in your live report here just moments ago for those of you just joining us. Oh, and I think we might have lost Christine. Christine, hopefully you have me here. I know cellular reception here as far as your call-in line is breaking up. Welcome to News in Real Time here, folks. Christine, do you have us? And I believe that we might have lost Christine McLarty. But I will, unless Christine, one more time.
Hey, JB, I think I just got you back.
All right, there you are, Christine. I want to just bring up that one note, that observation that you made earlier, that you said that about 20 minutes before the FBI and police came swarming into the scene here of the Laundrie family household, you said that you saw Brian Laundrie's father go out to one of the vehicles here. Maybe you can again tell us which vehicle it was. And you said retrieved some form of paperwork, some papers out of the vehicle.
Yeah, so I actually didn't see it with my own two eyes, but there's a lot of people here, and that is word over here. I should have clarified that is what everybody over here is saying that they saw. I can't tell you exactly which car it was that he grabbed the documents out of, but again, I did hear that he grabbed documents out of a car, and then that the parents were escorted into that black van that's just over on the left before being taken into the house.
Christine, any final notes from your reporter's notebook out there or the notes application on your iPhone? Any final notes here as far as what you're going to be monitoring here in the hours ahead as you're here live outside the scene? In fact, I think we see you from Eagle 8 HD. Any final notes here before we let you go?
Yeah, I think that I just want to, say that, again, this is a very active and fluid situation. We're going to have team coverage. We have one of our colleagues, Allison, is just down the street here as we try to learn more. We've been out here since 4 a.m. and we expect to be out here until this situation is resolved. So we will continue bringing you team coverage. And of course, JB, thanks for all the great work that you're doing here with WFLA Now. And we'll keep you posted.
A class act, folks, here. Christine McLarty, follow her, of course, on social media. She's fantastic. And a big thank you to all of our team that is out here giving us and giving you folks the very latest here. Thanks, Christine, for taking some time to join us. All right, back here with you live, everybody, on WFLA Now. JB Buno here with you. And I think that what we're going to do here is have some additional folks join us and provide us with their perspective. Just, again, an interesting observation that Christine is noting that it appears that something might have been, that could be absolutely nothing. It could be something, but some paperwork apparently being removed from one of the vehicles outside of the Laundrie household by Brian Laundrie's father, based on the report that Christine just gave us here. So again, could be something or could be a big fat nothing. We just don't know what that means at this time, but of course we'll keep you posted if we learn anything new here. But the FBI, police this morning here, for those of you just joining us, coming in blaze and swarming the home here and executing a court-authorized search warrant here. The grounds for that warrant remain unclear. We're going to get an affidavit as we understand it, and we'll be able to shed some more light on what it was that got us to this point. Because we've had a lot of your questions and comments coming in here